Welcome to Vital Signs Podcast. My name is William Hatton. I am joined today with Moses Tijerina. Thank you so much for being here. He is with Voluntary Services.
Correct.
And we felt like we wanted to do a special episode with Moses. Moses works very close with the Public Affairs Office, and so we are around each other a lot, and so it feels like maybe a kind of cherry picking with the people that are close to me. But I feel like when it comes to West Texas VA as an organization, volunteerism is really important for our mission. And so I wanted to have you come in and talk to our community out there, the veterans out there, anybody that's interested in volunteering about what the program is, why it's important, and kind of get a good idea of what they can do to help. So why don't you give me, if you could, just a general overall image of what voluntary service is?
Well, volunteers play a key role in the organization because they're the first person that a veteran sees when they get here. Greet them at the door, give them information where they need to go. If they need assistance with a wheelchair, they'll push them to wherever they got to go in the facility, take them there. And then once they're done with the appointment, they'll push them back down and get them to their car and get them on out of here. So volunteers are a very important part, I believe, because they're the first people that a veteran should see, or anybody that visits our facility sees and gets that warm, smiling face greet from just a welcoming person.
Sure.
Anybody that comes here.
So if I'm a veteran coming in, one of the very first people I see is the screener.
Yes, correct.
But beyond the screener, you're going to have an interaction with somebody at the help desk.
Yes. So my plan is what we call Red Coat Ambassador Program.
Okay, Red Coat Ambassadors.
So it's a national program for the VA that they're trying to implement nationwide. So the volunteers will be in a red jacket or a red coat, depending how we go with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they're identifiable. Like, hey, there's a red jacket.
Mm-hmm.
That's a volunteer that can assist me to get to an appointment, just let me information, or just need to talk to somebody. They're there for that.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be where, hey, I need assistance. They just, hey, how you doing today?
You're a knowledgeable person. Where do I find, laboratories, or how do I get to the eye clinic?
Yeah, they can take them. They can either give them directions or take them there physically and do a warm handoff with wherever they're going to go to the department.
Sure. So is that all that volunteer? Like if I want to volunteer, I'm listening to this podcast, I'm watching on Facebook. I feel like I could help out there at the West Texas VA. What all can a volunteer do?
So that's one of the biggest pushes to get somebody by the doors. Another one is once our CLC opens up, Community Living Center, I like to give our veterans up there to assist with the veterans that are here upstairs, whether it be playing games, maybe making cookies for them upstairs. We have a kitchen upstairs. They can make cookies. That's always a big hit.
Sure.
With the guys upstairs,
Everybody loves cookies.
Fresh cookies. And just talking to them. I mean, it's somebody different than just the staff they see every day. It's a different face, different perspective of what's going on from outside worlds, as we call it here. So they can do that there. And in some clinics, they can help do admin stuff in some clinics, limited role, but they can assist doing phone calls, calling veterans for appointments, stuff like that, or just assist them at the clinics on getting them checked in.
So let's say I want to volunteer. I have, let's say, public affairs experience or graphic design or graphic artists. If I called you, what would you tell me? Like, hey, I could probably help out with some graphics or something like that.
So when a potential volunteer first calls me, I go through some questions on what's your background? Do you have expertise in graphic design or something like that? And then so I kind of get a little background on them and kind of see what they want to do. Because just because they got that background doesn't mean they want to do that. But if they do, and we have it here, I'll talk to that department, say, hey, I got a volunteer that would like to help you do X, Y, and Z.
Sure.
And then if the department has a need for them, I'll get the volunteer in here, get them signed up, do the background check and so forth.
So volunteers do need to do a background check?
Yes. All volunteers are required to do a background check just like regular employees do. So they'll come in, they'll do paperwork. We'll take them HR, they'll do fingerprints there, which takes about 10 days to get back.
Sure.
Once they come back, we'll sponsor them and they get a badge like all the other employees here. Because they're considered employees, just not paid employees.
Sure.
They just don't have access to the computer systems or anything like that. But with a badge, they can walk around just like they're regular employees.
So if I have a special skill, there's opportunities for I threw out, public affairs and graphic design because that's what I deal with all day. But like, let's say I had carpentry experience. Is there a room for that?
Yeah, there is. So I can get with a ground shop or EMS or the engineering, because they have the carpenters there, so does EMS. And they can come in and say they want to do half a day on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Sure.
They can come in and then they'll tag along with the paid employee and do whatever they're doing.
Okay.
Whether it's fixing a door, putting up sheer rock, putting up sitting towels.
So although we want to build and highlight the Red Coat program, that's not the limit of where volunteers can be.
Correct. They can be anywhere in the facility except like back in the actual patient care.
Okay.
They can't be back there with the doctors and watching them do
checks
and stuff like that.
I play a doctor on TV, but not on, in real life.
But they can help in the doctor's office in front, where checking veterans in or so forth like that, before they go back there. So they can help in that aspect.
Okay. For anybody that's listening, what would you tell somebody to say, hey, we could utilize your services?
Oh, we can always utilize somebody's service. Somebody's always got a skill that we can use, whether it's carpentry, painting. For instance, we're trying to do a canvas, which we're going to have one at the end of this month. But we could always use somebody that knows how to paint, whether it be an oil-based or canvas, whatever. There's different styles I know out there. So you're not limited on like, well, I know oil-based and that's all I know. That's fine. You can teach the veterans in our community living center and our domiciliary and teach them how to paint for a couple of hours.
Okay. Well, to kind of wrap up or close out, is there anything that you want to say to folks out there that how do I get involved? Okay,
so I can give my phone number, or you can just go, if you come here to the VA, call the operator and ask them for volunteer service, and they'll forward you to us. Or if you show up, just let the screeners know that you want the volunteer service, and they'll either tell you where I'm at, or they'll call me and I'll come down and meet you at the front door, and then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you want to highlight or feature to let folks know about?
Yeah, just because of the COVID, we got the COVID going on right now, and it's kind of listening up. Doesn't mean you can't volunteer. I mean, we are limited on what we can do with volunteers, on where they can go and do stuff, but don't think you can't come in just because of it. Our doors are open.
There's still opportunities.
There's still opportunities. There's still limited opportunities, but we have opportunities to volunteer, and then as we open up more, we can expand on where we provide service at.
Now, this might fall into a very small group of people, and I only bring it up because it's come up. We've gotten calls before in the past on it, but like, if you're required to do like court-ordered community service, you can't become a volunteer, correct?
Correct, because the background check, it takes like 10 days, and usually the court service, they have a timeline or time limit.
And we would love to help you in trying to facilitate those things. We just can't do it here at the VA.
Yeah, we can't get it done in time.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been Vital Signs Podcast. I'm William Hatton. This has been Moses Tijerina. Oh, and I should highlight that you're a Marine veteran. We tease about it. We almost put an Army mask on him before we started. We wanted to see how long he'd go without noticing, but he noticed right away because he's a Marine veteran. So, U.S. Marine Corps veteran.
That's right.
I shouldn't shortchange you. So, I thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
We'll be right back next month. And if you ever have a topic or anything that you would like us to focus on or feature, we're always happy to have feedback from the community. So please reach out to us. You can reach us on Facebook. So thank you so much. We'll see you next month.